Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greeting and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I have come out of my slumber to bring the basketball of faith as a new NFL season awaits us. And I am here to give many bold predictions for the Detroit Lions Week 1 matchup against the Packers of Green Bay. Yes, as the Detroit Lions go to their other home over in the frozen tundra, I foresee the Detroit Lions taking the field and scoring not once, not twice, not thrice, but whatever four is in that other words. So they will score 4 times before the fourth quarter and have a resounding 38-21 victory over the Fudge Packers of Green Bay. I have foretold it. I have foreseen it that Jared Goff will scramble for a career high 18 yards in this game. And that, yes, Jameson Williams will catch 2 deep touchdown passes, while an unforeseen thing has come to me just now in the basketball of faith, and they have told me that Derek Barnes will lead the team with 3 sacks, and the Lions will laugh greatly in the faces of everybody at the frozen tundra. I am Dan O'Damas. I have given the bold prediction, and that is all I have for week 1. Tune in next week for more bold predictions. Mwah! Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I do want to thank Dan O'Damas for making a little time out of his busy schedule to join us here today on Lions Talk Live. Hey, let's face it, we've got week 1 of the NFL season already underway. You guys saw the game last night. Now we all know Lions got a big task in front of them this first week. They've got a pretty powerful team they're going to be facing, and a team that they're waiting to prove themselves, waiting to prove what they can do to the NFL. They didn't have the greatest season last year, the Green Bay Packers. They've made some additions. They've made some stuff happen here and there. And as you can tell from the thumbnail from today's video, Micah Parsons, perhaps the biggest addition the Packers have made this offseason, went on the mic yesterday, and while he was talking about his back, talking about Jerry Jones, talking about the Dallas Cowboys, he then started taking some shots at the Detroit Lions, and we'll get into this during the main top of the day, along with breaking down the game. But, hey, you know, if you wanted to throw more fuel onto the fire, that is this matchup. 2 teams trying to compete for the NFC title, NFC North title, and then the NFC. You know what? Micah Parsons sure did do that. Most of you will probably remember a year or 2 ago, he took a lot of shots at Detroit, just saying, hey, this is a place nobody would want to live, let alone play. And you know what? He doubled down on that yesterday. All right, before we get into the fight, or actually today, it's more than a few headlines today and the breakdown of the game when we get also into some other stuff for it, the main topic of the day. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are 65 subs away from hitting 14,500. So if you can help out with that, I surely would be thankful. Also, if you have it in you, it takes a half second of time and it won't cost you a dime. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit all the buttons while you're at it. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but most certainly never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the continental United States, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. We're going to have a quick conversation how I can use over 30 years in the industry to save you some time, save you hassle, save you money, make sure nobody's overcharging it, gouging it, etc. You guys get it. So give me a call or shoot me a text. I'll take care of you. All right, all that done, set out of the way. I do want to throw out a shout out to Ahmed Hassanin for doing the portion for a new intro for us. So that was real kind of him. But let's kick this all off with 5 headlines now. We've got a few headlines today, and a few bold predictions for you. So let's dive into it. Doctor provides easy explanation for what might have happened with Levi Onwuzurike. Sideline report, story by Brad Merriman. We all came into the season expecting that, Levi Onwuzurike was going to continue what he was doing towards the end of last year. Hey, let's face it. This guy, he's overcome every medical procedure he needed to face with that back. Talking about Micah Parsons and his back. But Levi, he's had a spine fusion, I should say. And just the fact that he can play in the NFL is just a real credit to himself and medical science. But this doctor goes ahead and starts breaking down what happened with Levi, because he came into the season, Lions were ready for him to get going. But this comes from our friend over Jimmy Lotto, MD. He started breaking down film on Onwuzurike, and what he's uncovered is he thinks the injury actually happened towards the end of last year. If you go back to week 18, yes, that's against the Minnesota Vikings, Levi Onwuzurike does tweak his knee, comes out of the game, and then comes back into the game with a brace on. He continued wearing the brace during the playoff game against the Washington Commanders, and it's just his opinion the injury actually began there. Now, it may not have fully torn there, but as you guys know, Levi Onwuzurike was ruled out basically right when training camp started. He thinks that going through OTAs and some of that stuff, the tear that began in week 18 of last year probably just fully ruptured then, and that's why the Lions were kind of caught off guard by all this. Nothing anybody could have done about it per this report. It probably wasn't a significant enough tear where anybody identified it as an ACL tear, and that they just thought maybe he tweaked his knee, pulled some ligaments, had him go through a different bunch of procedures to try to strengthen it, maybe help those ligaments repair, but as we all now know, the full extent of it, hey, he ruptured it after OTAs, and yes, unfortunately, he's done for the year. We'll see what happens to him next year. All right, next to the 5 headlines now. Lions OC could change entire narrative in week 1. Fan side story by Nick Heldon. And you know what? I couldn't agree more with this. And I would even kind of throw this at you guys. It's just not the OC, it's the DC too. You don't have to be much of a Lions fan to probably have heard a few billion times, whatever, this offseason. Lions can't win the North again. They can't win the Super Bowl this year because they have a new OC, a new DC. Nobody does that. Well, you know what? You know how you change that narrative? You do it. And I do think both John Morton and Kelvin Shepard are going to come into this year. I think they're going to be fine. And we've talked about it since the Lions were gifted the Hall of Fame game. I thought that was a big win just from a coaching perspective for both these gentlemen and the Detroit Lions. Is it going to be as smooth week 1 as it is, say, week 7 or 8? Probably not. But if you watch the game last night, or if you watch any of the week 1 games, do you think those teams are going to be playing at a midseason form now or later on in the year? Probably later on in the year is going to be most people's opinion. With that also being said, the Lions have had 6 weeks where just about every other NFL team outside of the Chargers have only had 4 weeks. Those extra 2 weeks will pay some big dividends for us as far as having a little bit better understanding of the terminology for both the O and the D, the timing of different routes, etc. Morton's going to be facing a lot of pressure because he was replacing what we're perceiving to be Ben Johnson as one of the best offense coordinators in the NFL. How does Morton try to get everybody to forget about Ben Johnson? You go out there, you put up a bunch of points, the Lions win a game, Goff, Gibbs, Monty, everybody else on the offense puts up some numbers against a pretty decent Green Bay Packer defense. You do that, and then you follow up with your home opener against the Chicago Bears. Maybe everybody will just forget about Ben Johnson and just say, man, John Morton, this Detroit Lions offense is legit. I personally think they're going to be too legit to quit this year. Jared Goff, next to the 5 headlines now. Jared Goff motivated greatly by Lions' new underdog status within the NFC North. Sideline report, Max tomorrow with this one. And I was kind of surprised. Maybe you guys weren't. I am, for one. A lot of the national media, it seems like they are forgetting about the Detroit Lions. They've written us off. I've seen some say we're going to finish 3rd in the North. I've had actually 1 or 2 that I found that had us as 4th. And I just look at this team. Maybe I'm a homer. Maybe I'm just someone who just thinks, because I cover the Lions and I'm a fan of the Lions, that I'm overlooking their abilities. I don't believe that's the case, but one never knows. Jared Goff and apparently the Detroit Lions are also aware of what the national media is saying about us, that we're not going to win. Green Bay Packers or the Minnesota Vikings are going to win the North. And because of that, they're getting a smile out of this. Goff likes the idea of, hey, everybody kind of paying attention to the other, bright things over here. What's happening in Green Bay? Hey, the Chicago Bears offense is going to be that much different. J.J. McCarthy is going to, jump up and win the Super Bowl this year. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. But Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions team, apparently they're taking notes on this, and they're using this as motivation. You want to forget about us? You know what this year we're going to do? We're going to make you not forget about us by going out there and explode. I have an opinion just based on my thoughts. Doesn't have to be your thoughts. I think this Detroit Lions offense might even be better than it's been the last 2 years. There will be questions about the offensive line in the OC. I get it. There's no way you're getting around that until you win a bunch of games. But when I look at it on paper, I think Jameson Williams is a game changer. His emergence you saw last year, I think it's going to continue this year. I think the timing, Goff, as per this story points out, has developed with J-Mo, just opens up everything else out there. Because if you can't stop him, you know what? You're going to cause problems going deep, because he will go deep early and often. The more people we have to commit over the top to help stop J-Mo from going deep, you know what? Those underneath routes for a lot of those great players that we have, St. Brown, Laporta, everybody else, they start getting a lot more wide open. The one problem I always had with Ben Johnson's offense is it relied so much on crossing patterns over the middle of the field. That's why for, periods of time here and there, you would see teams try to basically pack 7 guys into the box, play almost a man coverage on the outside, pseudo zone over the middle, and it would disrupt the plays, including against the Washington Commanders. You take that away from teams by saying, hey, we're going to go deep, and if you don't stop it, we're going to keep going deep. Then it becomes a 50-50 ball to a J-Mo or maybe a Tesla or whatever. Tesla, by the way, sounds like he's good to go fully for Sunday. All right, went on too long about that one. All right, next to 5 headlines now. Detroit Lions receivers, rookies and vets, fully on point heading into 2025 opener. Christian Romeo of the Detroit Free Press. You have a whole lot of people talking about the Lions rookie class. We talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show, and I agree. This rookie class looks pretty dang good. Jameson Williams had a little bit of a interview with reporters yesterday per this story. He said, man, you look at these receivers, the rookies he's talking about, Tesla, he brought up Meeks and Lovett. He said there's not a big difference between these guys and most of us vets. He does point out that both him and St. Brown have been working a ton, and some of the other veteran wide receivers, with the younger guys to try to get them up to speed. Again, referencing just from a coaching standpoint, you've had a month and a half to work with these guys. They should be as ready to go for week 1 as anything we'll see. Usually the old adage is the offense has an advantage early in the season over the defense, the defense has an advantage over the offense early in the season. I'm not so sure that's going to be the case this year, because I think the Lions, you look at the offense for us outside of the offensive line, these guys have all played in the NFL for a while. St. Brown's on his, the 4th, 5th year. J-Mo's been around there. Let's see, Sam Laporta, this is his 3rd year. Gibbs, Monty, they've all played a long time, let alone the tackles for the Lions. Graham Glasgow, the only way we're going to find out how he's going to hold up at center is let him play, but he's got over a decade in the NFL. I think the Lions are going to be fine. I think J-Mo is on point with this, and I think this Lions offense might just actually explode on the Packers. We're going to talk about that here just in a second. All right, Lions season preview, everything you need to know about Detroit's defense in 2025. Nolan Blanchie of the Detroit News. It's probably the biggest question mark out there. Why did the Lions not do more stuff to get a defensive end pass rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson? You guys have heard that more than once. I've talked about it more than once. But you know what? According to Nolan Blanchie, the Lions are actually going to be pretty dang good at getting to the quarterback. And I agree with him. I do think Derek Barnes is going to be used in a multitude of ways to get to the other team's quarterback. The other team's quarterback is probably going to go down. We all know Aiden Hutchinson has looked phenomenal in camp. We've heard about all the rules they put in to try to slow him down. He's also highly motivated. There was something I was going to put in the 5 headlines now, but I didn't get to it today. There's just too many of them. Simply put, Hutchinson said thanks to Micah Parsons for getting a new contract, setting the bar for his new contract. And he said he wants to go out and prove that he needs to be the highest paid defensive end in the NFL. I think that's going to happen. You got a guy coming back, a superstar coming back from injury, wanting to prove to the world that he's still the superstar. And he wants a new contract. Man, that's a three-headed monster. I think Hutch is going to be on a warpath this year. I also think Tyreek the Freak Williams, you know what? He's better than advertised. I don't know if DJ Reader is going to go out there and get 20 sacks a game. I do think he's going to eat up in the middle. And you think if Tyreek is really better than advertised, you put him on passing downs next to, Ali McNeil when he gets back, Hutchinson, and if Davenport really holds water, can stay healthy and get out there, this Lions defensive line might be one of the better ones in the NFL. That's my personal opinion. I also think we're going to get pressure on the quarterback for a multitude of reasons. The number one reason why I think Blanchie's right in this report, this secondary is the best secondary I've seen. You've got to see it in regular season games, but the best one I've seen since the mid to early 90s. Those teams with Ray Crockett, Bunny Blades, White, etc., those were pretty good. I think this one's better. This might be the best Lions secondary any of us living have seen, unless maybe you go back to the 1950s, but you get it. It's been a long time. You got guys that can cover, guys that can hit, help set the edge. There's just really no hole in the secondary. Because of the secondary and doesn't get talked enough, I think that defensive front's going to have more time and more freedoms to get after the quarterback. If you can stop the run, which I think this Lions defense can do, you know what? You might make a real long day for a lot of opposing quarterbacks. We've all talked about forever, can't the Lions struggle to stop the mobile quarterback? I'm not so sure that's going to be the case this year. I think Shep has come in on mission number one. We get somebody out of the pocket, they're going down and they're going to take a hit. And I look at what we're seemingly scheming with a lot of the secondary portions of the defense, as far as like the back seven. I think these guys are going to fly around. You see a lot of Stewarts and people like that are horribly athletic, get sideline to sideline with ease. Yeah, I think mobile quarterbacks might be a worry of the past, or at least I sure hope. All right, let's get to the next of the 5 headlines now. Like I said, we had a few extras today. Detroit Lions at Green Bay Packers. Predictions, picks, and odds for NFL Week 1. Game story by Blake Short of USA Today. They had some predictions for USA Today. I'm going to give you those predictions from USA Today. Let's dive into it. All right, Packers and Lions. Picks against the spread. Hey, Lions, as you guys know, they're not favored to win this one. Green Bay is, but Jordan Mendoza of the Detroit News says, hey, he's taking the Lions all the way. Micah Parsons can help the Green Bay defense. It's one of the biggest question marks right now. But can he even play in this game is the big question. Detroit's offense is still elite. Tyler Dragon picks the Detroit Lions. He's taking the points. Micah Parsons makes his Packer debut versus a talented Lions offense. Detroit swept the series last year. That trend might continue this season. And I would agree with that because I get it. The Lions played 2 close games with the Packers last year. Who played on defense for the Detroit Lions in either of those games? Yes, the Green Bay Packers have had some weapons to the offense and defense, but you know what? I don't think it's going to be enough. All right, Christian, boy, I'm going to kill this last name. Bumkaka also picks the Detroit Lions. John Helfring also picks the Detroit Lions. Lawrence Reigns picks the Detroit Lions. Blake Schuster picks the Detroit Lions, so I think you guys get it. Everybody over at USA Today is picking the Detroit Lions to win. What are your thoughts? What are your guys' score predictions? You've heard me ramble on about stuff. You heard our guest speaker today, Daniel Damas, come on over and talk about the Detroit Lions. Sorry, there's a fly attacking me on the air. For those who want to know about the weather as well, I pulled this up. The weather prediction is going to be mostly sunny for the game, so really I don't think weather is going to be impact one or the way or the other. Should be a fairly good football weather type game. All right, all that done, set out of the way. Let's go ahead and get us over from the 5 headlines now and into the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day, hey, Lions got a game. I'm not sure if you were aware of for this upcoming weekend. And yes, Micah Parsons is not a fan of the Detroit Lions. He's gone on for some time. He's talked about it. He's talked about his disdain for the Detroit Lions and everything in between. So what do you think, Duke Crew? Is he just really that against the Detroit Lions? Is he mad the Detroit Lions didn't go out and acquire him? I know some of you would have been happy if we did just that, but it didn't happen. Micah Parsons ran his mouth for about a minute yesterday, talking about a lot of different things. I'll give him that, but then did talk about the Detroit Lions. We did hear on the broadcast last night, I think it was Mike Florio, said that he anticipates Parsons is trending towards playing, might not need the shot in the back, but he'd probably be limited to just passing downs. My question is, as a coach, if you're really that limited, do I want to have you out there week 1 of the regular season to possibly inflame that back situation even more? I'm not sure, but I think we all agree Parsons' strength is getting after the quarterback, running his mouth, maybe not stopping the run. What would you do, Duke Crew? Would you go at him? Would you run the ball 50 times every time he's out on the field and run it right down his throat? Parsons clearly has an opinion about the Detroit Lions, and he's coming out on a warpath to show he's worth that new contract. He was worth the trade, and also, you know what, that maybe he wants to take down Jared Goff. I'm not sure what the Detroit Lions ever did to upset this guy. He's clearly not on our side. Let me ask you guys a couple of questions before we get over to the Duke Crew comment section. What are your score predictions? What do you think? What kind of impact that Parsons would have for the team? And from there, what do you guys think the final outcome will be? All right, we'll go into that. My other thoughts I'd say on the game. I think the Detroit Lions defense, if you had any questions about Shepard being able to replace Aaron Glenn, I think he's going to be just fine. That's my personal opinion. I think we are going to be Blitzburg in different ways. I do think we're going to run a lot of 3-4. I think we will run some 4-3, and I do think you'll see a lot of 4 linebacker sets. Now, there will be times on 2nd and long or 3rd and long. Some of those linebackers, I think, will come off the field, and you'll see probably 7 different defensive backs out there. I am including the safeties out there with the defensive backs. All right. Give me your score predictions. Give me your hot takes. Let me scroll to the top of the screen. Give me a second to get there. There will be, almost forgot. There will be no Kurt Steele today. If you guys can, just say a prayer for Kurt Steele. He upset his back a little bit yesterday. I guess that'd be a good way to put it. You know what? He's trying to rest the back and get ready for Sunday's game. All right, Michael D, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke Crew, exclamation point, one pride. Woo! And here we go. Thank you, Michael, for being here. JDC, morning all. Same to you. Carrie, morning, everyone. Hey, it's always good morning when you guys are around. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. People who live in glass houses should not throw stones. Woo! Parsons, everybody plays different ways. Some people get fired up by talking trash. Some people get ran over by talking trash. Did you guys, here's another question for you. How much do you think his words or comments yesterday, along with his comments in the past about the Detroit Lions, how much do you think that fuels up the team and the coaching staff, whatever you want to say, for this game? My guess is they're going to be a little extra physical with them, especially that offensive line. You get an opportunity to bend that back backwards, and I get nobody wants to hurt anybody, but you might not be afraid to put your hands on those shoulders and give them a good shove backwards, see if that back holds up for the entire game. Johnny L., good morning, folks. Back at you. Gary, yes, Bo, and people who live in straw houses should stay away from fire. And you know what? I think Parsons lit the fire for this game. Johnny L., after we whip Green Bay, we will ride on to whip the toilet seats. I think you are correct. I'm not Dan O'Damas. I'm just the host of the show. But my bold prediction, I knew I'd throw it somewhere out in the show. I think the Lions are going to win by about 17 points this game. I do think we start the year 2-0, and then we'll have to see how things look going into week 3. Bo, you are right. You are, Carrie, exclamation point. Someone is always carrying a match. Hey, light that match on fire. Get this offense going pow-pow on that Packers defense. Five Fingers Freddy, we just need to pound that ball on Green Bay. They did us a favor trading with Clark. Yeah, still to this day, I'm surprised the trade went through. If Parsons really does have a back injury, I know there have been some speculating. Maybe it's not as bad as being reported. They're doing it kind of, just to play sheep or something like that. I don't know. But either way, getting rid of Clark, unless they really have a lot of faith the next guy up is going to replace him easily, I'm surprised by that. Jessica, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you. JDC, Lambeau Field, home of the Lamers. I concur. Tori Apple, protect Goff, and I think we win this game with ease. You know what? If that line really comes out, I have no doubt they're going to run block fine. That is not a worry of mine. I'm just watching Mahogany, watching Ratledge, watching Glasgow the last few years. I think they're going to run block incredibly well. I think the pass blocking, that's what we're going to have to wait and see. And to me, it starts with the center position. I understand Glasgow was beat up last year. Warrior played through all of it, but he also had some moments he didn't look the greatest. The nice thing as a center, we talked about it before, is you can block in to help him out, force the rushers to go around. And if you trust in your tackles, which I think most Lions fans do, that might not be a bad way to go. So, anyone know if Parsons will even play Sunday? It sounds like it's basically, I'd say 60-40. 60 yes, 40 no. It does sound, if you believe Mike Florio, that he's going to be more than likely limited to obvious passing downs. So we'll have to see, how well does he hold up the whole game? Only way to find out is get to the game. Giant, Mr. Rip and Shred is in the house. JDC, I agree. Bo, is the score final from last night final? I believe so. Pat, Sosa Long, NBC said yes, but only if, passing down's last night's game. Correct. They did talk about that once or twice. JDC, go Lions, exclamation point. Good morning, Johnny L. Hookadoo, Johnny L. Is your grit meter at a high level today? Woo! Hey, who doesn't like to woo in the morning? Johnny L, heavy dose of Sonic and Knuckles? I would agree with that. We'll get it. Everybody who's Lions fan, if you watch him to see DC, he wants to pound the ball, set up play action. You know what? Let's go after the pack. Steve Rogers, can't wait to see what we look like Sunday. So happy football is back, baby! Exclamation point. And yes, I think we're all in agreement there. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Dallas didn't look too bad for a minute. Thought they might pull it off for a while. Yeah, for a minute they did look pretty good. That opening drive of theirs, I get Carter was out for Philadelphia. I'm not even going to go there with that. You probably understand why the Lions didn't want to draft him. I like the guy. I just think he makes a couple boneheaded mistakes here and there. Maybe he'll grow up a little bit more. He is still a fairly young person. Johnny L., I'm on board with you, Steve Rogers. I agree with both of you. JDC, Magic 8 Ball says defense wins the big one. I concur. Drake, so who looks better for a Sunday? The offense or the defense? Question mark. I'm thinking the offense myself. That's a great question. Boy, who looks better? Well, I guess I'll go with the offense just because usually offenses have the advantage defenses have the advantage early in the season. I keep saying that, man. But I think with our offense, just the fact we've got so many veterans that have played together for such a long period of time, and John Mort knows these guys. He has been here before. He's more or less helped build the offense that Ben Johnson had put together and ran for us. So I don't think it's going to be as big a learning curve as many are anticipating. All right, Bo, I didn't realize how many defenders the Eagles lost from last year. Yeah, we've got one of them. Sounds almost as bad as we were. Yeah, agree? Gary, they had took the biggest part of the defensive line out. They did. Jim, I hope the first string gets to sit out the fourth quarter. We'll see what happens. If we have that kind of beat down week one on the Green Bay Packers, man, we're going to be talking about a whole nother level of excitement for this season. Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. We need to see pass rusher pressure from our D other than blitzing all the day. Okay. And we might, maybe Davenport, maybe Hutch, are as advertised this preseason. My only personal thought is with both guys, I know in years past, Hutchinson would be out there like 90% of the time. And maybe he's healthy enough to do that again. I don't know. I would just want to really kind of limit that, especially Davenport. We all know his history. So if you got him out there 90% of the time, history's probably going to repeat itself at some point. Johnny L. Trey, so was it a good game? What was the score? Boy, I don't remember the score. I want to say Philly won by 4, if I'm not mistaken. But I know when I basically stopped watching it at halftime so I could get ready to go to bed. I want to say it was like a 3-point game, something like that. Bo, losing Jalen Carter exposed the Eagles. Tyreek Williams is looking better and better. Yeah, Tyreek, we all get it. He can stuff the run, stuff like that. Can he get to the quarterback? I think he can. For those who don't know, I think it was right after the opening kickoff or something like that. Jalen Carter spit on the Dallas Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboy quarterback, and because of that he got kicked from or tossed from the game. Stephanie, good morning, boys! Exclamation point! I don't think anyone gets a workup from a game as the first of the year. Okay, all the excitement and energy, hoping we come out strong. I think we're gonna come out strong. Hopefully, you come out strong in your next bout. By the way, Johnny L. We get this no worries at all from our house. No worries at all from the house. Carrie, that was one of the most classless things I've seen a player do. Yeah, I wonder why Carter did it as far as spitting on Dak Prescott. I'm not sure that I was talking to Jen about it. I'm sure some, both sides were probably jawing a little bit at each other, but still getting down to where you spit on somebody. Yeah, that's a no-fly zone, man. France Carter is a fool for doing that. I concur. Jess, I turned the game on about 2 minutes in, and they said Carter had been booted from the game. I was like, how already? Question mark. They just did kickoff. Yeah, it happened somewhere like right before, right after kickoff, something like that. Big Eddie, good morning. Coach Dan and crew, back at you. Man Bear, I'm not bothered about Parsons. It's just a simple case of mind over matter. I don't mind, and he doesn't matter. Ooh, I like what you did there, Man Bear. Silver Server, good morning, Coach and everyone. Same to you. Bo, The look in the water boy's face was priceless. It was indeed. Johnny L., what did Carter do? And now you know. Silver Surfer spit on the Prescott. There you go. Bo, he spit on Deck. He did. Kerry, 2 players gone in 2 plays and the 3 flags. What a way to start a game at home. Yeah, a little worked up, weren't they? Central Scrutinizer, greetings, sanitation coach Dan and the new crew. Woo! Let the party started. It takes more grit. Hey, who doesn't like to have some grit in the morning? Coach Rock, good morning. All just got chalkboard material to add to the rest. Yeah, 100% with Prescott going in, and I didn't want to make it a full hour show about his comments. We get it. I knew it would come up in the comment section. Parsons, I don't know. He's his own person. Make your own decisions. Live with him. But the fact that he's not just once, twice, but 3 times taking shots at Detroit, this is an opportunity for the Lions to really go out and kind of repay him the favor of those words. When he was with Dallas, maybe you kind of write it off a little bit. But now that you're in division, now that you're a week 1 opponent, now that everybody in the world knows you got a little bit of a back issue, I wonder how much the Lions take out on him. Joe, stupid move on Carter's part. I would agree. Silver Server, I feel real good about Detroit. So good, I am getting concerned. All right, we'll try to dissuade your concern. JDC, Poop, Buddy Love, and the Cheddars. There you go. Bobo, truly the city of brotherly love. Hey, I'll go with that. But till then, this is why Brad and Dan make the correct choices. So glad he isn't a Lion. Yeah, it's not that he's not a phenomenal player. I think most people would agree he is. But some of the off-the-field stuff, you do have to wonder, and I guess now you get to extend that to on the field, right? Rock, Rip Morning, Hookdo, and Johnny L. Back at you both. Lauren, Dan O'Damas. Hey, maybe we'll see him again. Robert, Dan O'Damas. There you go. Big D, I see the interview where he was running his trap, exclamation points. I thought to myself, didn't he say Detroit he would love to play for it? Yeah, he kind of changed that tune once he wasn't traded to Detroit, right? Susan Scott, they just need to take care of the ball and stay healthy this year. I like the way you're thinking. Let's see, Hookadoo. Rock, just let that grit build for Sunday. Exclamation point. Lions got this one. I think so, too. Johnny L. Grit Morning to you also, Coach Rock. Rock, right, Bo, old Hank Williams song. Will be careful the stones that you throw at Parsons. There you go. Carrie, the Silver Server, you get concerned when you feel good, question mark. Hey, I tell everybody, man, as a coach, the games I get most worked up for or worried about are the games I think I'm going to win by a lot. The games where I know it's going to be just 2 good teams going at it, I don't get worked up at all for. It's just how I'm wired, I guess. Let's see, Silver Server, Carter, still very young, and they won the game, although Dallas had chances. Lamb dropped a couple, but Dak should have thrown that ball a little shorter, the one to which Lamb dove. Okay. Art, I hope the NFL comes down hard on Carter. Hey, if he can miss our game, I'd be okay with it. Silver Server. Gary, yes, because I have never had that feeling with the Lions. There you go. Bo, new intro. There is a new intro. Coach Tiny Kelly. Okay, hey, Coach and Duke Crew, how about them Lions? Hey, can't wait to see him on Sunday. David, I know Carter didn't play, but Philly's defense doesn't scare me. They looked beatable. I am very excited for the season. Exclamation points. Me too, man. I think there is a potential here for the Lions. We might be a pretty good team this year. The Rebel basketball fate, yes, it sees all, it knows all. The basketball fate, it's like a crystal ball. James, Micah, we do our talking on the field. I like the way you are thinking there. And yes, I think we'll do a little field talking out there. Hookadoo, Dan O'Damas has returned. There you go. Coach Rock, good look there, Dan O'Damas. Love the trophy of fate. Yes, the basketball fate. The Rebel, good morning, Coach Dan and the Dooku. Back at you. Craig, I like your prediction. I kind of like his prediction too. Micah, 4-4. There you go. Laughing out loud. Manberg, 11 out Fudge Packers. Exclamation point. Nice. Let's see, Marcus. Yes, Dan O'Damas, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. Hey, we're always worthy of a little Dan O'Damas. Anyway, good morning, Coach Dan and the Dan O'Damas Duke crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! There you go. Honorable Dan O'Damas has returned. Broski, hey, what happened? At least you called the Fudge Packers by their real names. Hey, Dan O'Damas might have done that. Let's see, Silver Server, Carey, you see, I think I am of the terrible type of Lions fans, the worst kind, those who really never believe Detroit is going to catch a break. Cursed. Yeah, if you've gone through it for a while there, Silver Surfer, anybody who watched him during the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s probably has a certain feel for that. James, Packers are softies. I'm not worried. I think we're going to run them over. Johnny L, the NFL at Art, the league won't come down hard because it wasn't Detroit. Might be accurate. Art, what are the odds of one of our rookies making Rookie of the Year? Question mark. Who would you choose to win it? Rookie of the Year, it's no disrespect to Ratledge, just offensive linemen typically don't get it, so let's remove him. He could be great this year, and I think he would have to be like otherworldly to be in consideration for it. Williams, will he get enough stats to justify it? That's a tough part with his position. If he has some sort of Ndamukong Suh type season, then yeah, it's possible. But just most interior defensive linemen don't produce those kind of numbers. So I guess the answer for me, now that Hassanin is out for probably about 2.5 months, would be Tesla, I guess. Trina and Christina Conway, good morning on this Friday. Go Lions on the game on Sunday. Everyone have a safe and blessed Friday. Woo! Back at you. Hopefully you have a great one. A great day, that is. Kerry, Silver Server, I'm a die-hard optimist. Nothing wrong with that. It's Lauren. Good morning, Coach Dan and the world-famous new crew. Woo! And back at you, Lauren. Hopefully you're having a great one. James, remember, Parsons has the bad back. See you on Sunday. That's the surprise thing to me, man, James. Why run your mouth unless you're just, especially if you've got a bad back, everybody knows about it now. Why give extra fuel for somebody to potentially put a little extra panache into those blocks? We'll see what shakes out from. Al, yesterday I listened to one of the many NFL prediction shows. Each guy went on and on about how great the Packers are. And then at the end of the segment, they all picked the Lions win. Hey, how about that? I do think, my personal prediction, I guess I'll just give it right now. I do think, let's just go with the NFC North. Lions 1, Packers 2. I'm going to go with the Vikings 3, and then the Chicago Bears 4. Could it be that the Vikings supersede and maybe finish second? Yes. Do I think the Lions are going to go undefeated in the North this year? As much as I hate saying it, I don't think. I was going to save it for the end of the show, but since I'm giving out some predictions now, I think the Lions are going to win 12 games this year. And with that being said, let me do one other thing here. Let's go through the 2025 Lions schedule. Take a little segment from the show. Let's, it's just because I got some new graphics here. You guys can look at the schedule. We'll go through this one at a time. Daniel Damas gave me his notes on this. So, hey, I'm just going to read what he says. He's got the Lions winning week 1 and 2 of the regular season. Against week 3, he does have the Lions losing. Bouncing back week 4 against the Cleveland Browns. In an upset, the Lions are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. They are going to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to win against Tampa Bay. They're going to win against the bye week. They're going to win against the Vikings. And then from there, they're going to lose to the Washington Commanders, lose to the Eagles, 2-game losing streak. Win against the New York Football Giants, against the Green Bay Packers, against the Dallas Cowboys, against the LA Rams. They're going to drop one, unfortunately, to the Pittsburgh Steelers before closing out the year with wins against the Minnesota Vikings and then the Chicago Bears. So there you go. All right. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully you guys took some notes there. All right, Visionary Lion. Good morning, Coach. Exclamation point. Back at you, Johnny L. Paranoia will destroy you. Oh, there you go. There you go. The Rebel bonus headlines. We did get some bonus headlines today. A question mark, exclamation point. Yay, I'm down with that. Lions greatest hits. If you get spit on, you lose. Hey, if you know what? Hey, you don't want to ever get spit on. Silver Server Art Tesla could do it if he circumstances are right and become Rookie of the Year, but I wouldn't want Khalif injury as one of those circumstances. No, Tesla, it does seem like the Lions coaching staff believes in him pretty heavily. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let go of Tim Patrick. That also being said, we've got so many weapons on offense. Sorry, the fly keeps attacking me. Is he going to get enough opportunities, as you're saying, Silver Server, to put up the numbers that are going to get you in the running for Rookie Offensive Player of the Year or something like that? That I question. Silver Server, Gary, I am working on it, everything, not just Lions. I am not young at all, but as they say, it's never too late. It never is too late. Gamma 6, what do you got? In a minute, Eminem song, Keep Talking comes to mind when thinking about Parsons. I'll go with that. Yeah, let the Lions' actions on the field do the talking for us. Michael, hey there, exclamation point. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Dooku. Go Lions. Woo! Lions will rule on Green Bay on Sunday. I'm down with that. The Rebel. Did they say Levi ruptured it? Yeah, it did. But he's already had the surgery to fix it. unfortunately, it's probably going to take a guy his size about a year to recover. Dre Day, don't be surprised if you see Tesla in the offense more than Khalif. Silver Surfer, might be true. We're going to find out or get a big clue towards it in the first 2 weeks. Johnny, our straight cat struts. There you go. Silver Surfer, Johnny L, I like that one. I'm down with that. Leonard, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan of the Duke Crew. Have a great day all. Same with you, Leonard. Thank you for being here. Gary, I wouldn't believe Prescott didn't react. In my world, I would have at least thrown a kick. Yeah, probably knew that if he did something like that, he might get booted. So, good for him for keeping his composure. Well, I get my dinner from a garbage can. Hey, well, do what you got to do. Robert, Johnny L, and the Packers will be eating from our garbage can. All right. Rocky suspended that spit for the year and fine him big time, maybe jail time for that. Well, we'll see what they do. Dre Day Parsons is going to find out why they call the NFC North the black and blue division. I agree with that. It is a very physical division. I think he's going to have to get adjusted to that. Robert Bo Booth, exclamation point. Johnny L, I love this stuff. Hey, who doesn't love this stuff? The Rebel, hope we see motivated Goff. I think Goff is going to be motivated. He's aware, just like you guys were. Some people are saying, his success with the Lions is because of Ben Johnson. It's not because of his abilities nor the players. And I think that a lot of the Lions offensive players want to go out there and prove that, hey, we're good because who we are, not because of what Ben Johnson did. Kurt, Micah Parsons can flap his gator all he wants. He is going to learn with hit back. Those shots won't work as well as people think. I've had 2 back and neck surgeries, had multiple shots. Man, this fly won't leave me alone. And hopefully your back is okay there, Kurt. JK, tell Parsons to sit down. We won't face him till second meeting. Might be true. Thermal, I love us kind of flying under the radar. It is surprising that a team who wins 15 games, and has been as good as we have been the last 2 or 3 years, it does seem like, everybody's kind of forgotten about us, but good for us that it's happening. Johnny, the whole team is going to be motivated. I like the way you're thinking. Lauren Lyons, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan, Duke Crew, exclamation point. Looking forward to watching our beloved Lions shred some cheddar Sunday. Go Lions, one pride, worldwide. Woo! And back at you, Rock. Parsons, who are you? The beep are you to stay out of the D? Yeah, we'll find out what happens on Sunday. Dre Day, St. Brown needs 80 catches to break a record, apparently, and I believe Jared Goff will get him those catches this year. Yeah, he should have a big year. Big D, if Parsons was smart, he'd tell them he can't play this game. We are hands down the most physical team in the NFL, but if he doesn't play, he will find out quickly. If he does play, he'll find out quickly that we run the North. I like it. I like it indeed. Pat, I don't think we got anything to worry about. Green Bay is good, but not great. We can't. They can't stop our run game or golf. I see a lot of Lions leaps. There you go. Let's leap into the fans at Lambeau Field. I wonder how many Lions fans will be there. We'll see. James JMO going to burn the Packers with his speed. I agree. Silver Surfer, Carey, straight left hook, I'd say, but Carter probably was trying to cause that kind of reaction, but Dak didn't fall for it, and Jalen got booted. Who knows if he had spat right in his face. Yeah, I mean, I'd say this for Dak Prescott. He probably did the right thing not responding in that way, because if you take out the other team's quarterback, you probably don't have much of a chance. Let's see, Carey. Dan's call on Lions is good, but the fudge scores is too high. Very good. Detroit D, 2 days away from Sunday to beat down the Packers. Let's keep beating them down. 2 more days for us to get ready. Hey, good to see you, D, in the chat. Missionary Roar, I can't wait to see how John Morton and Shep on Sunday versus the Packers. I want to see what they do, too. I think I've got some good ideas what they're going to do. I think we all do. But now you just want to see it confirmed down on the field. Big D, he spit right on Dak's heart. Yes, he did. JK, today's Sao Paulo game going to be scripted as well. We'll find out. Big D, literally, Robert, fan since 1979, and anyone thinking this team is underdog needs to have their head examined. The only other team with this close to talent was 91, and Goff is better than Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell came around, I want to say, 93, 94, something like that. 91 would have been Eric Kramer. And yeah, sorry to hear about what Eric Kramer is going through right now. For those who don't know, he's had some real mental health issues, and apparently his caretaker robbed him blind. Took like $700,000 from him to where he's now in some financial straits. Look at you. Beep, beep. Bye, Coyotes. J-Mo, another TD. I like it indeed. Omega Beast, I ain't scared of the Eagles or the Cowgirls after that game. Let's beat them down when we play them. James, better watch out for Tesla and St. Brown this Sunday. I agree. JK, let the entertainment begin! Exclamation point. I'm down with that. Silver Sarah, J-Mo was so great in the interview, didn't fall for any of those traps set by some snakes. Yeah, the reporters, I get it, man. It's part of your job, or some reporters' job, to try to get people to say things they regret. But, you can tell he's growing up. J-Mo's not as young as he once was, as far as, maturity, etc. Big D, J-Mo has come so far, man. I'm proud of him. Yeah, I think a lot of Lions fans are. Gun Guy, haven't seen you in a hot second. Good to see you, my friend. Davenport is a good rusher. If he can stay healthy, yes. Now let's keep him healthy. And, I keep sending over Mountain Dews for him to drink. They seem to work for me. Miacah Parsons is going to mess himself over. He needs to watch that back injury. Lions O-line is going to put the smackdown on him. He's going to be about as effective as he was against us last year. Let's see if they can do that. I like the way you're thinking. Kerry, Carter's a big boy. I don't think Dak wants to swing at him. Might be true. Big D, if Davenport stays healthy, we have the best 1-2 punch in the league. I like it. I like it indeed. Unless you sucked and have high draft picks like Houston, it is challenging to have two high-end defensive ends and pay them both $35 to $50 million a season. You're not wrong with that. Robert, I've been a huge J-Mo fan and never lost faith. He made a couple of dumb young kid mistakes. So what? Yeah, move on from it. Now, hey, see if he keeps evolving. Johnny L, a lot of people need to get brain biopsies. There you go. And by the way, I think this team will feel lighter now that they have moved on from two huge mistakes. Hooker and Martin, and the best of luck to them. Yeah, wish them both well. Hopefully it turns around for them. Let's see, Robert Bruce, yes, sir, says Big D. JK, Carter got fat off in the offseason. Might be. I don't know. The Rebel, I agree about the defense. Best secondary in the NFL. Yeah, I mean, I can only tell you my thoughts. Watching them as limited as I have, I just watch the little nuances that have changed from last year and this year. I know we've all heard about how much of a second-year jump Terrion Arnold's making. But you look at what Amik did last year, his development as he got more familiar with the season and what the expectations were here. DJ, I think he's going to bring a whole lot to the table. Then he got the guys backing him up. There's some quality backup, cornerbacks there. And then, of course, you've got the safeties, which I don't think there's a better tandem in the NFL. Kurt, Lions sure going to change a lot of perspectives after we finish beating the Fudge Packers convincingly. Exclamation point. I like that. I like it indeed. Silver Robert Bruce. And now, Robert, you know that over here we do not love anybody more unconditionally than J-Mo, the good kid Williams. I like it. See, Leonard, coach, does the 3-4 package have a spy in some cases? You could have somebody out there like that. I think if they're going to use a spy, it would probably be somebody from the secondary to stop a mobile quarterback. That's my opinion, at least. We'll see what they do, though, Leonard. Brett, our offensive line will be top 5 this year. People thinking that replacing Ragnow and Zeller with people with no legs. Correct. And we've talked about it on the show before. Just because one guy was a 10 doesn't mean the other guy is a 0. In my opinion, Frank Ragnow played through a whole lot last year. I would probably have given him a score of an 8 last year with his overall play. But with that being said, I also think to try to be as brutally honest and fair with Graham Glasgow, I would give him a 7. So is that is that a huge difference? No. Is Zeitler's probably the more compelling one to me. I would have given him a 10 on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being high. Ratledge, from what I've seen so far, he's about a 7.5. Probably by midseason, going to be an 8. Is there a difference? There is, but it's not egregious. The other thing is, I also think this line is going to be far more mobile. Just their ability to get around and move around. Both the guards are way more mobile than what we had last year. The last thing, probably could have done a video on it at some point in the offseason, is the blocking assignments. I used to just hate watching the blocking assignments offensively for the Lions, because sometimes, Ben Johnson would ask like Taylor Decker to come over and block the right guard spot, so the right guard spot can go over and switch and block somebody 5 feet away from him or 8 feet away from him. It just, you want to know why sometimes interior pressures happen on golf at times, because you're asking offensive linemen to cover a lot of ground and not trip over each other, where I think it's so far what we've seen this preseason, I think John Morton's simplifying it. The guy in front of you, that's who you block. And you know what? Good for them. Johnny L, this is going to be a ballroom blitz. I like the way you're thinking. JK, if you ask me, Green Bay already lost. I like it. Big D is laughing. Robert Silver, that does my heart some good. Okay. Right, Brett says Silver. Brent, don't get me started on our new corners. Chicago has new corners. This is true, but they'll be better this year. We'll find out. The Rebel, our wide receiver room is loaded. I agree. Lions Talk Live fan, 42-24. I'll take that. A Central Scrutinizer. Honolulu Blue and Silver Tsunami is heading for the frozen tundra. I think you are possibly very correct with that. Big D, 42-17, called it last month. I like it. We'll use that call. Brett, is there one position group in Green Bay that is better than Detroit? Ooh. That's a good question, man. I don't know, just because I think the Lions team is so deep all around. I think there's some spots we're equal, but I don't know if I'd say one team's better than the other. If you guys have a thought on that, let me know. J-Mo Hater right here. Okay. Let's see. The Rebel, I believe Micah will play. Probably accurate. Kerry, thank you, JK. Kurt Steele, no boss-up ball today. I'm sidelined until next week. Yeah, rest up, my friend. You get that back right. Lions bad guy. Let's go, Lions. You're so many new Lions fans are mad with the Lions. Didn't sign my comparisons yet. He's still talking stuff to the Detroit Lions, and yet you're all mad he's not a Lion. Hey, it happens, man. Central Scrutinizer, maybe he's mad because he's not a Lion. Maybe that's it. Central Scrutinizer, stick to the game plan. Don't focus on Parsons. I'll go with that. Johnny L., I don't care if he plays or not. Ain't scared. Silver Server, the Central Scrutinizer, I really like that metaphor. Truly wonderful. The silver and blue tsunami thawing that ice. There you go. Trina and Christina Conway, Lions 24, Packers 10. Man, we're going to take the dogs off early, apparently. Pat, 28-17, Lions. I like it. Robert, Parsons will play limited money talks in sports. You're not wrong there. Kurt, let's see. Lauren, Kurt Steele, hope all as well. I think so. Coach Rock, sorry to hear that. Kurt, Lions bad guy. Lions by $1 million. Ooh, that would be real good for fantasy football owners of Lions players. The Rebel in Shep, we trust. Me too. Kim, Parsons is a diva. Lions will have an answer for him. I like it. Big D, I'm not mad. Parsons is in Green Bay. I'd rather have him out there than Clark any day, in my opinion. I kind of tend to agree with that way, 100%. Central Scrutinizer, 31-21, Lions victory. I concur. Lions Talk Live fan. Grant Stewart gets a sack. He might, man. He might indeed. He will be used. Brent, all the talk is Parsons, and he will be limited. In the meantime, Hutch will dominate all game. Exclamation points. Dre Day, Lions 31, Green Bay 13. Bo Booth, get well soon, Kurt. J.K., Parsons is a distraction. It's right to stick to the game plan. I agree. Yes. Lions, bad guy. Skip Parsons. He's going to find out. Might be true. Michael D, 34-21. Detroit Parsons will be a non-factor. I think he probably will be. Kurt, Lions are going to win by a score of 35-17, exclamation point. Packers are toast. Lions are Super Bowl bound. Parsons will be ineffective against the Lions offense. Woo! Hey, that's a mouthful right there. Big D, Tsunami nailed it. Tsunami did nail it. Ken, passing downs for Lions could be any down. If he is not on the field, check into a pass. If he is, run it down his throat. We'll do just that. Kerry, take it easy on the helm up hitman. There you go, on the heel up hitman. Now, say it ain't so, Kurt Steele. The Rebel Cowboys defense wasn't awful last night. It wasn't. They kind of looked okay without him. Big D, the Bears game will be harder than Green Bay. Could be true. Robert, 31-24, Detroit. I think that's be a lot closer, but the Lions have too much pure talent not to prevail. I like it. Just win, baby. Dre Day, the Rebel Clark played well for the Cowboys. He did. Broski Bear, Lions 28, Packers 24, Gibbs 180 total yards. Man, that would be a heck of a day, wouldn't it be, Broski, for Gibbs? Let's see, Brent. Last year we beat Green Bay twice with a defense that had me and Dan playing. Man, you don't want me out there playing. Phil, good morning. Good morning, Phil. JK versus Bears would be a huge assessment. I concur. Coach Rock, my dad always said it's better to keep your mouth shut and let the wonder if you're a fool and open it and leave all doubt behind. Parsons, yes. Johnny Gas Sports, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Happy Friday and football weekend. Can't wait to see Johnny Gas. Can't wait to watch the game. Look at 34-24, Lions roar. Silver Serve. Big D. Clark was a big loss. Parsons, if healthy, phenomenal though. I say put 6 offensive linemen and extra manu on Parsons to start running D-money right and left. Soften that pass rush plus Gibbs play action. There you go. Gary, morning gas, man. The Rebel, I heard the fans say 42-13 Lions. I'm going to go with that. Me too. That would get us a nice win. Brent, Lions will win the toss and defer, or the wrath of Hutch will be felt. Let's get Hutch unleashed. Kurt, thanks for all the well wishes. Nothing serious. I'll be back soon. Yes, you will. Kurt, the Lions are the best team out there. Exclamation point. Woo! The Lions train is coming. They're going to run over Green Bay. JK, 41-27. Johnny Gas, morning carry. Look at the good news, Kurt. Big D. Still, we got your brother. There we go. Johnny L. Grit. Morning to you, Johnny Gaz. Kurt, hope you feel better soon. Kurt Steele. Exclamation point. Praying for you, Kurt, says James. Brent, watch your show every day from Memphis. Thanks, Dan. Woo! And hey, thanks for watching, Brent. Hey, you're always welcome here to be a part of the new crew. James, Kurt Steele, hope your back feels better soon. I hope it does too. Mega Hustle. Parsons sounds like C.J. Garner Johnson. Public comments like his towards the Lions could be a distraction for Green Bay and backfire on the team. I agree with that fully. You've seen it firsthand as Lions fans with Garner. You have? Bad guy. Praying Kurt. Hope you your pain is smashed my hip skateboarding up against a cement wall and my hip and had a knot in the size of golf ball. I get it. It does. Yeah, it's not good to have golf ball size ailments. DM5, I think the defense is going to show out on Sunday. I think you are right. JK, exactly what I'm thinking. Mega hustle. The real heavy dose of Gibbs and Monty. Exclamation point. I like the way you're thinking. Hilkadu, Johnny Gaz, Coach Rock, we need a search party for Mary Smith today. Yeah, I haven't seen her yet today, have we? Johnny L, Thunder and Lightning, baby. Oh, yeah, let's get after him. I think we're going to get after him. DM5, everyone in the media is counting us out. It's like they forgot we have Hutch, JMO, St. Brown, Gibbs, Brian Branch, to name a few. You are correct. One Pride. Man, I feel like we haven't seen you in a minute. One Pride. Yo, good morning, Coach. Morning, Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Lions defense going to be ridiculous. I think the secondary has lockdown written all over it. Kirby, Branch, Reader, Arnold, and Meek. Jay loves Nightmare. Jordan loves Nightmare indeed. Gary was wondering what happened to the Queen. Well, I don't know. Maybe she's on super secret assignment or something today. Arnie Davenport is going to dominate. He's got a giant-sized chip on his shoulder. Exclamation point. Yeah, he's playing for his NFL career right here. Johnny L. Hookdo, I hope that she's doing good. Me too. Thomas, that Ukrainian towel-wearing fortune teller seems pretty smart. Does he work for FanDuel? Yeah, I'll have to ask there, Thomas. I'll have to ask. Benjamin, Coach, you have to quit reading these 12-year-old procrastinators online. There you go. Ernie, love the show, Coach Dan. Doing what you do. Hey, I try to do what I do with an exclamation point. Silver Server, one of the best things that can happen is Lions is being played down and doubted the whole time. There you go. Robert, reminder me of Sewell is in on Thanksgiving Day game against Green Bay, unnecessary and classless. Yeah, he had his moments, but there's no denying the talent he was. And, hey, maybe that played a factor in why they didn't resign him. Gert, Duke Crew, exclamation point. I hope all true Lions are ready for the beatdown of the Fudge Packers of epic proportions. Let's beat them down. Phil, a guy on Philip first game back from a ACL got chopped, blocked, and injured in the same knee. Carter just took offense at the block and reacted poorly. Okay, maybe that's what it was. See, we didn't know. Mary Smith, good morning, Duke Crew. Late night was watching the Eagles and Cowboys game. Hey, it was probably a late night. Good to see you, Mary. I know the search party can be called off now. Gary, Tommy Moody laughing out loud. Thomas Moody, what do you got? The silver. Mary Hookadoo was concerned about you. He was. Israel Gray, actually Prescott started. Prescott stood between two linebackers and spat between Street Stewart. There you go. We didn't know. Eric Minion, good to see you, my friend. Been a hot second. Good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you. Robert, Hertz is dangerous, but Goff will prevail. There you go. Jason, Levi, Stadium or Bus, exclamation point. Good to see you, Jason, and I like the way you're thinking. Johnny L, there you are. Mary Smith, good morning. Hookadoo, there she blow. The Queen of Grit. The Queen of Grit is here. Mary, Micah, Brokeback Parsons has lost his mind. He just opened up a can of whoop butt. Yes, he did probably. He's probably got a target on him. Yeah, Gary, morning, Mary, DM5. It's early, but clearly a blueprint to beat the Eagles. You need to stop the run and make sure you get home on Hurts. Yeah, you get to the other team's quarterback, you're going to be okay. All right, there's only a couple minutes left here. I'm going to power through, get some people on who haven't been on as much. Johnny L, yes. Mary Smith, Tilla, watch the game and the rookies. Tyler Booker and Jay Campbell look good. Two of my favorites in the draft. Roll Tide. There you go. Kurt Parsons is a great player, but he is not as good as he thinks he is. That could be true. The Rebel, come on, Duke Crew. Get those numbers up. Exclamation point. Smash the like buttons. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit them all. Prescott actually started. He stood between two linebackers and spat between them and on the ground in the field in front of the Stewart. So he got assisted. Could be, yeah. Unfortunately, usually it's the second guy, the retaliatory person that gets caught. Jason, Dan Adamas, mysterious accent makes me wonder if he is an imposter. Could be. Eric Carter showed why Detroit didn't draft him. No class, and his teammates won't respect him for doing that. Might be true. Dan would have got the Lions win. Does the Packers trade then make it a bad deal? See how it goes after the season. But yeah, really, they're playing to win now with that trade. And if they don't win a lot this year, that trade's going to look bad. Kurt Parsons is not as good as he thinks he is. Probably true. Eric, Lions 34, Packers 21. Dre Day. Coach Shep said Tyreek needs to be reminded the way he wants him to play may not produce stats. Yeah, he agreed with that. Mike K, coach up Jalen Carter. Coach up Jalen Carter. We'll see what happens. Final countdown. Side note, just notice we're the only team in the North on Eastern time. I did not ever consider that, I guess. JK, Cincinnati Bungles, laughing out loud. Lions bad guy Parsons is typical homie. Okay. Tom, Lions will win 35-21. I'm down with that. CNF. I called it with the Lions intro. Exclamation point. Love the show, coach. Hey, anytime. Glad you liked the intro, man. I spent a little time on that one. Johnny, peace out tomorrow. Go Lions. And back at you. We'll see you next time. Cynthia, good morning. All back at you, Cynthia. Always good to see you. Ziggy and friends, good morning. Captain Dan, all-star crew. We'll take that. Service our coach, I think your prediction just started. Lions undefeated in the division. Could be. The Rebel, I like your predictions, coach. Exclamation point. And your 12-win run. We'll go with that. That's why I picked. Let's see. Hookadoo. See you, Johnny Gaz. Have a great Friday. We'll see you then. Dominic, good morning from Texas. Good morning. Thank you for getting up early to be a part of the show. Mary Smith, Hookadoo, not a search party. They were putting together a search party. Black J.R. Jones, 13 wins. We'll take that. Hookadoo, the fly must like your hair goop, Dan. He probably does, man. It does seem like that is a common denominator. Kim, primary concern this year is the reffing. I think there's still a bias against Lions. Yeah, but not as bad as it used to be, but it will probably still one game this year show up. I think the Lions as a whole will be on a war path. Exclamation point, will be ready to destroy and ask questions later. I like it indeed. Carrie, take it easy, Johnny. Indeed. JW, Carrie, Tom, both defense did not look great last night. No, I was a little surprised by that because normally the defense is the better looking group early in the season, but not so much last night. Ken, I'm going to wear that Green Bay stink shirt to the game. We'll find out if he does, man. DM5, hopefully both coordinators come up with their A game and not drop off Ben and AG. I think it'll be fine, but just know for sure on Sunday. We'll find out. All will be known and revealed on Sunday. Tom, 24-20. We'll take that. Micah, prayers for EK. Cynthia, Hookadoo. I saw only Carter. Might be. Okay, getting real D. Go Lions! Exclamation point. Dominic, been having to stay after work is why I have not been on. Sorry, no worries, man. Just glad to see you here. Hopefully you're having a good one, my friend. Kurt, 125 yards rushing for Gibbs, 105 for Monty's! Exclamation point. St. Brown, Goff will hook up on multiple touchdown passes. Tesla is going to break out. Jameis is going to torch the defense. Hutch will and the D are going to have to destroy him. I like it. Welcome back, Dominic. There you go. Chrome, Parsons sure knows how to stir the hornet's nest before week 1. He does, man. And in fact, he did it again. I don't know. JK, happy trails, Duke crew. Go Lions victory. We'll see you later. Not laughers. Lions 35-7. Go Lions. One pride. Exclamation point. Pat, I think we are going to see some smash mouth football on Sunday. I think you're probably right with that. I'm glad Parsons is in Green Bay. Why would we want him with a bad back? I don't think you'd want him with a bad back. Henry Moore, have a glorious day and a victory Sunday. Woo! Go Lions. We'll see you next time. Kurt, exactly. Hookadoo! Exclamation point. Lions had enough injuries last year. Packers make a dumb move. It might have made a dumb move. Brosi, stop Josh Jacobs, and the rest will fall into place. I like it indeed. The Silver Surfer, Carrie, are you really a J-Mo hater? I don't believe that. I don't know. Hookadoo, I think that Dre Day said that, Silver. Could be. Silver Surfer, sorry, Carrie, Kurt. Lions are going to restore the true balance of power after Sunday. Exclamation point. Lions with a huge win. It would be a nice win. Way to start the year. Motor City, Paulie. Dak spit first, but Jalen got caught. That is probably accurate. Mary Smith, everyone have a blessed and safe weekend. Bring back all the great Sunday. See you all in the morning. We'll see you then. Creative idea. Vintage non-filler. Let's go. Let's get going. Eric, have a great day and blessed and weekend, everyone. Have a safe and blessed. And you too, Eric, have a good one. We'll see you Sunday or tomorrow morning. Hookadoo. Mary, I got called off the search party just in time. Grit wins. All right, guys. Got to most of the comments at least. If there's breaking news later today, I'll get it to you as soon as possible. If you guys would be so kind, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Do something kind for someone you don't know. Be a good human being. And we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.